Hi folks, and welcome to the PostScript for the final episode in the Burning Questions season, all about how to find a decent advisor and find one you can trust. So I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Ray Adams, and maybe by now you've had a chance to look at Advisor Book. Highly recommend you do that. I'm really excited about what it makes possible. Now, back ages ago in session number 8 of the podcast, I did a session on how to find a financial advisor. It probably needs updating, but hopefully this video and my conversation with Ray will do that. But I wanted to just give you a few questions that you might ask a prospective advisor before you sign up to become a client of theirs. Before those questions though, make sure obviously you use Advisor Book, because in doing so you are checking the FCA register. If the advisor you're looking to meet with is on Advisor Book, you know they are a regulated advisor. And Advisor Book will help you filter the search by your location, but also qualification level, what kind of specialism the advisor has. So that's the sort of stuff that you can use to immediately filter out a few people. But then what about some questions that you might want to ask? The first question I would suggest you ask your advisor or prospective advisor is, can you describe the advice process? What you want is for your advisor to tell you the process you're going to go through, the journey that you're going to go through with them as a client. What are they going to expect of you? What can you expect from them? When are they going to get paid and how much? You must know this stuff at outset. Some things an advisor won't be able to tell you up front because it depends on the complexity of the case and stuff like that. But, ask this sort of stuff right at outset and get the advisor to describe the journey. How and when you get paid, actually, that's the second question. Jumping ahead of myself a little bit there. But if you ask an advisor how and when you get paid, how means, do I write you a check? Do you take the fee off your investments that you make? Will the advisor advise you without taking control of your assets? That's a really important question. Some advisors do, lots don't. So how will you get paid? And also when? When in the journey will the advisor expect to be paid? Always be wary of somebody who advises you, quotes, for free, in the hope that you do some kind of investment or pension or other arrangement with them. That's called contingent charging. Any decent advisor will charge you a fee for the planning process, okay, whether you go ahead with their recommendations or not. So that's something you need to be aware of up front, and certainly ask your advisor up front. I think there's merit in asking an advisor why they do the job they do. The financial advice profession has done a good job of cleaning itself up. There's a long way to go on that score, but a lot of advisors are there by default. No, I shouldn't say a lot, certainly not now. But in the olden days, a lot of advisors were there by default. Maybe they dropped out of another profession, and it was something that previously, when the barrier to entry was very low, pretty much anybody could be a financial advisor. That mercifully is changing with higher qualification levels. But ask your advisor, why do you do the job? What do you enjoy about it? In the answer to that question, you'll get a sense of the way they think, the way they feel about the profession, and whether they care about people or not. Financial planning is very much a people profession. The longer I do it, I'm convinced it's far more about people than it is about money. So ask that question and get a sense from the answer about what your prospective advisor thinks about people. Do they care or not? Ask the advisor about their qualifications and specialisms. That's important. Advisor Book will go some way towards filtering that out. But be ready to ask maybe deeper questions. Maybe ask for an example of a client in their specialism that they have helped, what the problem was and what the outcome was. Pretty searching questions. Gosh, I hope nobody ever asked me these. And then finally, can you describe your ideal client? I think there's merit in asking an advisor that. What's a perfect client for you? Do you have a sort of client avatar, an ideal client that you love to work with? You'll find that if you meet that, then you're going to have a great relationship with that advisor. If you don't, it's always probably going to be suboptimal. So, 5 potential questions. Can you describe your advice process? How and when do you get paid? Why do you do this job? What are your qualifications or specialisms? And can you describe your ideal client? Your answers to that will give you some sense about that person. And the final overriding thing you need to understand about finding an advisor is that you must trust your gut feeling. Yeah, do your homework. Ask friends and family for a recommendation. Use Advisor Book to filter by geography and by qualification and specialism. But then when you actually meet somebody, trust your gut. The advisor-client relationship is incredibly close. It will require you to be fully open kimono, as they say. Basically to put everything on the table, be 100% open and honest about your finances, but also about your hopes and your dreams, your fears and concerns. A good advisor will give you an environment where you can do that easily. A bad advisor won't. So trust your gut, right? And go with that. Okay, hope that was helpful and hope you're enjoying these little PostScript videos. If you haven't checked out a 5 Minute Friday video yet, do that. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.